Blacklist taking out the Hayabusa.
Alright, so we're talking about configuration earlier, by the way, and what I'm thinking about is, you know what, Haji can actually go to jungle.
Yeah,
Like, there's
too.
so many possibilities right now with Blacklist. On the other hand, though, I love what I've been seeing from Omega. You
Yep.
saw that stat. 4 straight games, 13 minutes and below. That is not an easy feat, especially here in the playoffs with the best of the best playing for the top spot.
Yep, and one of the best picks for Omega has just been picked up by them. They pick up the Eve. That's most likely going to be going onto the hands of Itamax. I mean, no big surprises there. He has a record of 3-0 actually on that hero. Meanwhile, Blacklist International picking up 2 of their comforts. It's Paquito on Edward, and that Rafaela can still go onto the hands of Oh My Venus or Esson. But last season, from what I remember correctly, most of the times where we see Oh My Venus and Esson together and there's a Rafaela, it is the Rafaela going to Esson, and then Oh My Venus might go for the double healer type of meta, but then with Matilda and Estes gone, that might not be the case. They might actually end up bringing back an old flavor in the Popol and Koopa for themselves.
Might I say the F word?
What?
What?
Florin, though.
Oh yeah, Florin.
Double heal, boom.
That's what's interesting.
She's on now.
After the Barats and Lancelot pickup here, we're gonna see what Blacklist is thinking. It's pretty public out there, specifically coming from the agents and social media. Maybe V doesn't like the Florin as much, standing alone as a healer, as an individual hero. But what if you overload the healing and you pick up a Rafaela, you put a Florin in there, nobody dies? What if?
You've got some of the best picks here to support. Like heroes that are fighters, they have the bigger health pool, more to heal, right?
Yeah.
So you've got one of them. You've got the Kimi Rafa, such a deadly combo. But again, on the other hand, you have Omega. You've got the Lancelot, and kind of dance around that. You've also got some really good bursts. And again, the Barats, we've seen that go on the roaming as well, so I think that's something the Blacklist had to keep in mind.
Yeah, Omega can make this a position for Barrett's and put someone else in. Oh wait, no, with the Eve there.
Not gonna happen.
Might not happen. But Barrett's and Eve, who knows? It could be a different
Could
flavor.
be. I would love to see that.
Yeah, but right now, most likely he's going to be going into the hands of Renjo. He's 8-1 on that Barrett's. Meanwhile, Blacklist International, with what you mentioned, the Kimi and the Rafaela, we might be seeing here V-Wise in the gold lane if Wise ends up playing the gold laner. Could be a possibility.
Second phase brings us the Jawhead, which was, interestingly enough, not banned the first time around. So this is Omega making their bed, laying in it, just focusing on what they need. Again, you answer the Paquito with the Barats, and you gotta give Ryzen something to work with. And that's the Lancelot going over the Jawhead. What's Omega to ban this time around?
Yeah, Ryzen's been popping off. And following the trend, I think a lot of more support. Did I hear a Diggy?
I think that was a D ban.
Just take out all the surprises.
Smart
I love
ban by
that.
Omega.
Right? Take out all the surprises. We don't want to be surprised. So many teams have fallen to the trap of the 5th pick Diggy.
Yep.
So,
And that's a trap that Blacklist has sprung previously this season.
correct.
It's a good understanding of the situation here by Omega. Meanwhile, for Blacklist, seems like, they're still going to need to pick for either Esson or Venus. And then at the same time, again, right now it's still hard to predict Blacklist because you don't know who goes where. There's so many permutations and possibilities. And I think Omega right now, it's a mix of them just trying to be a step ahead of the game, but also just using their familiarity of Blacklist of, okay, these are what they like. This is what we don't like if they're going to be picking up, so we'll just pick our comforts. And I think right now that's one of the things Blacklist can do for maybe the first 2 games is just that'll be their feeling out process.
So far so good here. Again, good respect on the Algis. I love that. Something that can really hunt down this Kimi.
True.
And that's the focus here. Weird ban on the YSS though. I don't get that.
I mean, weird is one way of putting it, but in the face of a Blacklist that is seemingly comfortable with this kind of situation, I believe it's a blessing in disguise that they're working with a lineup without Oheb for now,
Right.
because there's an air of mystery. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's a little bit of a veil, you know. It's like a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Big smoke screen around Blacklist right now.
But there's no veil picked so far right now, Raka.
It's a Claude.
Yeah, that's a claw.
Thank you for that.
You did this to me
Thank
backstage
you.
with glue
I
in
know.
the previous game, so this
Okay.
might turn again.
This is very
I know.
telling. This is very telling because you have the Kimmy, which we've previously only seen once in the jungle on Wise, and then in the gold lane for almost everyone else. Paquito, I don't know if this is going to be a Haji in the jungle or most likely Edward Balboa. So,
I feel it's an Edward pick though.
right? So that last
Yeah.
pick is still up in the air. I'm still pretty
Your team
confused.
is picking.
I would laugh if it was a Florian last pick, but they need tankiness. This lineup is just so squishy right now, and can be easily dealt with if they are found if someone's like found as an outlier.
Ow.
It's easy for them to get picked off.
Yeah, another healer looks really good for them. Or they can also look to balance it out.
Yeah,
Big front line.
the thing
Yeah.
about the other healer is yes, the lineup is soft, but you kind of overload the whole situation with damage, and then you just keep going forever. I really think we're about to be surprised here. Throwing back to Season 7, there's Kelra's Harith, and of course, keeping it close to the chest, Shakno gonna be playing that Grok. What's Blacklist to pick up here?
Oh,
Don't they need someone on the mid to kind of handle it? Is this a possibility of a mid?
Frank.
That was a very tanky voice.
Sounded
Who
like
was
glue.
that?
Sounded like glue.
Was that glue?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was glue.
All right, so Glue jungle.
Glue jungle?
No, sorry, Glue in the mid.
Yeah.
It's
It's a Kimmy jungle, boy.
Kimmy
Yeah.
jungle.
It's Kimmy jungle.
Okay.
That's hot.
Oh,
That's
Kimmy, double marksman. Let's go.
Kimmy
Yeah.
jungle. Okay, so they reverted. They put Haji in the gold lane this time.
Huh? How effective will that be? I'm just so used to seeing Haji either on the jungle or on the mid. That I'm not super used to him on the gold lane just yet. So I would like to see the efficiency of this guy on there. It is a Claude. It's more difficult, but it was recently buffed, so can't remove that from the equation.
Yeah, Coach Ducky mentioned something to me early on in the day is that Haji, yeah, we know him as like assassin KDA machine, but he plays a really mean marksman as well. So you're just gonna have to take that principle of being safer in the jungle, put that into the gold lane, and I think this is still gonna be, it could still work out really well for Blacklist International. But the lineup of Omega, it's, as you would call it, Leo, it's very honest, but it's also, in a team fight objective game, that's tough to go up against.
Yep, and game number 1 is upon us. Let's see how far honesty gets you against the champions. Early on, we see no babysitting. Actually, it's a dual lane in mid.
Honestly, it's the best policy. You know?
Oh,
I don't know.
Venus!
though
Oh.
could be in trouble. That's pretty good early pressure coming in from Omega, and this is what I like about them. They are continuing the trend.
You smelling it? Might be OMG, O mid game G.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go again.
He could be on the way there.
Oh man, and they do have the tools to do it,
Yes.
right? I mean that they are so wow. They're so into it. But again, I kind of forgot how fast Kimmy can clear the jungle. It's been a while since I've seen a Kimmy on jungle, so
Yeah.
you'll forgive me if I forget the feeling and the timings of it.
And I don't know how good my memory is. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first time Wise played Kimmy in the jungle, it wasn't Mage Killer.
That is
wasn't.
true.
This season, right? It was something else.
It was Mystery Shop.
There you go. So we're throwing back to 2019.
Mage Killer. I haven't really used that in a while. I don't even know if it applies to Lethal Wonder, because last time I used it, there was no Lethal Wonder, so... Oh, wait a second.
Venus in trouble. Ryzen draws first blood.
That is a very good pickup there from Omega. Definitely can use that, especially on Ryzen right now. Casually dodges the missile with the forward rows without knowing it. So I'm pretty sure he didn't see Kimmy there, but fun stuff here. Blacklist. Man, they are really banking on the timers to really draw out, right? With a lineup like this. I mean, that's already a given with one marksman. I mean, what happens with two?
Yeah.
Right? That's a big problem.
And I think what we might see for the first 3 turtles of the game is Blacklist not committing so much to go up against Omega for those turtle fights. But Wise getting stopped here.
They are going to struggle to even keep their own objectives. They trade a lane for the jungle. Eson forced to visit, popping the split just as quickly. Off camera, we saw Kelra go down to Edward, and we've seen this once before.
Oh, yeah.
The switch up.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh,
gonna
man.
be interesting because with what you were mentioning earlier with the two marksmen on the side of Blacklist International, it's like Omega's playing early to mid, Blacklist is playing the
Super
late game.
late.
Yeah, super late game.
Not
so
just late.
yeah, Blacklist, they might have, again, as I was saying earlier, they might have a tough time around early on, but late game, Omega's gonna have a tough time if they can't catch the Kimmy and the Claude.
That's true. They're gonna have to rely so much on Edward Balboa here to stay alive around the mid to early. And Edward's not gonna be able to do all of that.
Oh, 2v1, split, answering with a Detonus welcome.
That's confusing.
Huh, okay.
That is
So
confusing.
he gets the grab just in time, right before the welcome finishes, and Haji able to get free stacks off of the Barat. Quick question, what do y'all feel about the killing spree on Haji? That he's usually an avarice.
Exactly. That means they really bank on the late game. Like they are not gonna fight. Like I think not just the turtle. I think even the first lord. They're gonna completely ignore that. They know they won't have a fight. They are gonna have to keep. They're gonna have to focus on keeping Wise alive, actually, instead of fighting. But again, pressure is something that Omega's just so good at.
And they're rotating at their will. I mean,
No one can stop him.
to
man.
be fair, I think Keller's having quite a bit of a hard time up top against Edward. That Paquito is lethal. But down bottom, you can see that Renzio is having his way. He's just pushing in, forcing Haji to go home, and that's what you're losing out on with
Control around the map, especially in the gold lane. That's why we've been seeing Oh My Venus and Esson visit that gold lane a lot. With that knowledge, Omega decided to put Keller in the XP lane because that means that's going to be a little bit less trouble for Keller to deal with. Yes, he's having a lot of trouble against the Paquito, but at least it's not multiple ganks from multiple members of Blacklist. You just have to worry about one hero.
Speaking of multiple, there were two fights happening. One in the turtle, and then down bottom in the gold lane. Almost close. That was Esson versus Renzio. It was you or me, friend, and both veterans survived. But look at this, Renzio diving in, puncture on puncture, plus the Phantom execution clearing the wave, forcing Venus and Wise to stay a little longer as they rotate.
Is it just me or is it a lot quicker this time around? Like the punctures are so fast, so much faster now.
It's that update.
Because of the update.
Oh, Edward's in trouble. There's a diamond set in by Etomax, but Edward clears. Amazing response time.
Wow.
Power of the Paquito, and I guess that's the what do you call that? The efficiency that you get when you know how to play the hero inside out.
Oh, Omega wanted that fight in mid, ladies and gentlemen, but Blacklist knows better, and V calls back.
You know what? Any fight where no Blacklist member dies, that's a win for them.
Yeah.
They are trying to buy as much time as they can in this game.
Are you saying winning for Blacklist right now is not losing?
Yes. We're not losing anyone.
Yeah, ain't wrong
And keeping
there.
the goal. Thank you for
No,
that.
seriously, you ain't wrong.
That's correct, yeah. In keeping the gold even. Like right now it's only 500. Why is it just 500?
Well, it's
Right.
the classic story as well of just avarices on the side of Blacklist. Being able to get a lot
That
of
is
gold
true.
on Venus and Esson.
And as it was in bottom, same up top. Renzio just surviving, just barely though, but
Shotgun.
almost point blank maximum charge.
Bang, bang.
A kill for Blacklist. Renzio goes down, but it took 3. They're gonna trade that for mid. Turret goes down, bottom as well. Kelra making quick work of that turret. Look at Venus from behind. Oh, they're not gonna go anywhere here. And Chaknu is just making some space, man. Kelra, the assassin of objectives, but not gonna force it. They do see S on here. Let's see if they're gonna take down this glue. Split. Here comes Haji, BMI. They're gonna
Very
focus
aggressive.
on, again, not losing.
Yeah, just focusing on that and getting what they can, which is what they're getting right now. It's Chaknu, man.
Wild charge keeping them back, but only for so long. Wise gets another one. There's a Salmon Force laid in, plus the diamond set in by Etomax. Renzio eats him.
Wow.
Nom 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 nom. That was
Delicioso.
welcome. Taking down Edward, but not quite. He's still surviving, and he goes down. Ryzen takes him. Turtle still up 4v4.
That is interesting. I did not realize that trade would be that good for Blacklist.
It would take that long.
And that took so long, by the way, so... Again, they're trying to go for it. I think they do have some firepower in their pockets already.
Oh, Turtle here at a third of its health. Ryzen's keeping his priority, but it's stolen by Wise! A retribution to the face! Renzio goes down. One free kill. Venus looking low.
Wow.
And that's gonna be Ryzen. He wants him. Oh, Wild Shark steps in. Haji taken down by the Mamba. That's gonna be one more kill here. Looking for it. Ryzen dashing on out. Split by Eson.
Just when you thought the Blacklist already had the advantage, you know, Shock Mamba does his magic. Starts right off, dives in the middle of everyone, takes that kill.
As a good friend of ours would say, it's a Chalk Mamba surprise.
Get ready for the Chalk Mamba surprise.
Kobe.
That's just the power that you have, man. And that's just built in at this point. Like, no one even surprised about that.
And we're seeing the two teams right now start to mirror each other's aggression in terms of going for the objectives. Blacklist International says we're happy with the gold now. Why is it 6.2k leading in terms of leading all players in the game in terms of gold? Haji can catch up a little bit, but we saw a blazing duet onto one do a fair amount of damage to Itomax, so that's enough. They're gonna be fighting a lot more now. But of course, Blacklist and Omega, they will still do their best to contest their objectives. It's really just gonna go down to the execution of the team fights for objectives.
It's gonna be really interesting here. Whether or not Omega's gonna try to use some of that early game power here. They seem to be hesitating, man.
Their flickers are gonna be coming off of cooldown sooner before Blacklist, so they might use that situation to force a team fight before Blacklist can get their flickers.
Which explains why Blacklist is not crossing the river just yet.
Yep.
Not even checking these bushes, man.
Amazing control.
That's right. Under the tower, though, you don't have a choice.
Chaknu making sure Edward has no exit, cannot defend the turret. It's a 3v4. RWM, just a tip, keeping him in, but Blacklist able to get away and survive.
Which is very weird because I don't see them. They should have, you know, there's just no follow-up there on that RWM. It's so weird.
Oh, Etomax! He goes down! Haji, a smooth operator, taking down the captain. Who'd have thought that a Claw had that much power as early as 9:45?
Well, it was comboed with a huge missile from Wise, so I guess if you, like, on their own, they're not that strong right now, but together, they are a different power.
It's the ultimate bonding experience.
Like a family.
Family.
Like a family. Here we go. Another fight might break out. Renzio looking low. There's so many bullets coming at Renzio that Barat has nothing to do but fall. Zaman Force here set in by Kelra. Blacklist might call it quits because this little white-haired boy is dancing. And here comes the dance floor set in by Etomax. Eson split trying to survive. The tip of the RWM burning him up. Almost taking him down, but not quite yet. Ryzen. Oh, if Ryzen just got that puncture, he would have gotten a double.
Yeah, the lone glue. He was alone there. So close but no cigar. And again, Blacklist getting advantages in situations where I feel like they should not, because the situation is just so off, or the angle of entry is so off for them. They managed to make it work, man. And all the bullets are hitting, man. Like, that is the good thing about Wise right now. All the bullets are making their mark.
Yeah, it's the slight movement speed increase that you get as a team if you get the holy healing from the Rafaela, and that's why this Rafaela pick is crucial, not only for the Claude, but especially for the Kimmy.
Yeah, you know, if you can move faster, you can kind of reposition better and aim better.
Great sidestepping so far by Blacklist and Omega. They're doing their best. Like, they're bringing down the real-world manipulation at the right times, but they just can't seem to get that perfect reach or cash onto Blacklist.
The only way I can describe how fast and how surprising Blacklist has made this lineup work is if you ordered via Panda Pro and the rider said 30 minutes and it came in at 10! But I spoke too soon! Haji blasted here! Eson might follow up, but Venus is not gonna let the tank fall. Turret's gonna go though. No answer back by Blacklist. And here we see Omega gets a second wind. If you thought that their lineup in the face of Blacklist had no response in the mid to the late, well, Omega's saying think again. Eson looking low. There's the Zaman Force set in, and here's a punish by Blacklist. Potentially Kelra falling, but he survives the Shadow Striker, able to go back into the shadows. Lord here at about a third of its health. Renzio putting up a barrier up top. Down goes Etomax. Edward knocks him out. Chaknu still up, trying to keep the remnant of the Lord in place. Down goes Ryzen. Edward Boboa gets a double kill, a double KO. Wise with a retake. Lord goes over to the champions for this one. Another kill. That's tank on tank violence.
Oh my god. You know what? Blacklist said, we can take it.
Yeah.
Edward, you can go down. Like, you can go down as long as you take out the lance.
That was a clinic on retakes.
Yes. absolutely textbook if
Blue team
there's
turret
ever
has
one.
been destroyed.
So it's not a super crucial Lord yet. Omega still can actually hold this very, very well. But this is not the position I was expecting Blacklist to be in at this time of the
Blue
game.
team
13
turret
minutes.
has been destroyed.
I think Omega were thinking that Blacklist would amp up the aggression a little bit more once Haji got that golden staff. But once
Blue
Haji
team
got
turret has
the
been destroyed.
Demon Hunter sword and was just halfway through the golden staff, they already upped the tempo. So that slight adjustment might have thrown Omega off guard just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
wow.
to the defense.
Great timing on
fast.
the Lord defense, though. Yeah, Omega's still in this,
got it.
obviously.
Yeah.
There is a 4K
Blue
deficit,
team turret has
but
been destroyed.
the best thing that Blacklist got out of that team fight win and that Lord take was just regaining the map and, might I say, dominating the map. Earlier, right before that Lord take, you saw a wave crawling from bottom, and even mid looked perilous for Blacklist. But right now, man, with this kind of lineup with 2 marksmen and of course the rotation power of the Rafaela, we can't stress how awesome that mobility boost is. In the blink of an eye, like literally after that pause, you see the map just turn red.
Yeah. We were talking about in the draft where the lineup really looked squishy. I think I was the one who mentioned that. But what we failed to mention is that they fast, yo. They got mobility for days.
Yeah. The Kimmy and the Rafaela roaming around together is a big threat to Omega. But what Omega has also is respectable and, dare I say, great wave clear. So they'll be able to play defensive and play from a position where they can counter-engage Blacklist International. Once they've expended most of their abilities, that's when they'll go for the offensive to try and wipe out or at least take out 3 members of Blacklist so they can push out the lanes. And this is where we see now one of the great things about Blacklist International, why they went 13-1 for the season, is that they are handling the wave so well. They wanted to go together at the same time. They're freezing it. They're stacking it up a little bit more. Allow them to push together.
So, you know what Omega has though is the element of surprise. Like you
Yes.
saw what happened earlier. Like they can do that over and over again. If someone, just one guy gets mispositioned here, the rest of the team can actually barrel down pretty hard. So I feel like Blacklist, they can still kind of slip here. Like, see if that hit, if that wild charge hit and knocked up Eson, that would have been it. That would have been 45.
The damage output of Etomax is off the charts, and you saw there exactly why. Eson used the split, and all of the little glues just went poof.
Burst. Yeah, I think that's the sound effect.
Yeah. Whenever he casts any spell, like I think 1 or 2, just not the ult, just 1 or 2. Burst!
Oh, it has to be 2 because he's glue. All his skills are just burst.
Oh, right.
First.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, that's 2. It's always 2 for
Man.
So good, you have to say it twice.
The way our friend JC Rezebek put it, makes you look like you feed.
Oh!
I mean, with a 0-2-4 lineup, that's not apparent, but the way he affects team fights at this point, especially when they're behind, Etomax is an anchor right now. He needs to set things up. That RWM is going to be all the more important. Let's look at the gold experience graph here, and you see the swing. You see how much gold just went all the way for Blacklist, which explains now that tight but very, very dominating 4K gold lead.
It is massive, bro. And not to mention that you are against a Lancelot, which actually kind of falls off around this time.
Yeah.
So their power in the team fight is actually really good. As long as they can stick together, as long as no one gets picked off, I feel like Blacks is in a good position to take this.
And now they're both hanging around the Lord. 2 key item pickups, defensive items, actually for Omega. They picked up the Thunder Belt for Kelra at around 1620. It allows him to survive a little bit more, but also gives him that cooldown reduction and that slight stun that you get from the passive. And then Dom Ice for Chaknu, just to reduce the healing and the attack speed that Blacklist International has a lot out of, especially on that Claude.
They're kind of closing off the edge, right? They're
Yeah.
closing off the difference a little bit for Omega. So they're doing pretty good in that regard.
But the healing from a Rafaela or any healer type that has favor boots is just crazy.
They're starting to threaten Renzio. Oh, there's one green out. The Daytona's welcome has been spent in with that little jab. Chakru looking low. Already used a wild charge. Haji knocks him out. And look at where Kelra is diving deep. But Ryzen and Chaknu paid the price 3 for 1 so far. And Kelra's left alone here. This little boy is unsupervised.
Oh, the bot lane though.
He's in trouble. Look at what Haji's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord, it's the push, it's the penetration, and Kelra's fighting his damn
Kelra's
hardest 3v1, but it can only take you so far. Edward knocks him out, and that's Etomax acting like a secondary turret, but he cannot do much against 4 members of Blacklist International, taking game number 1.
That was masterful. I think that's the best word to put it.